Welcome to the Keelhauled podcast. I'm your host, CaptainLogun, and we've got a little bit of Sea of Thieves news to talk about this week, so tie yourselves to the mast and hold fast. Ahoy there, pirates. I hope you had yourselves a good week and a good weekend. I know I did. This week, we are going to be talking about the Sea of Thieves news that dropped. We finally have some information about Monkey Island Tall Tale 2, as well as the upcoming event, Legends Week. So this week is very nice because I got to sit down with some of our Gold Hoarders. It is the Gold Hoarder episode this month, and we got to discuss some of that stuff. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. But before I get into any of that, I have to thank the patrons. They're the ones that are supporting the hosting. They're the ones that are purchasing the equipment. They are the ones that are paying for stuff when it comes to this podcast. Without them, the content wouldn't be rolling. It wouldn't continue on. It may, but it would probably, okay, in all honesty, it would probably continue. But they're helping me with that. This is a really fun time for me to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the fact that I have so many folks that love to support this content. It means that much to them, and it means a lot to me. So I want to thank them by name. Head over to Keelhauled Podcast over on Patreon or patreon.com/Keelhauled Podcast if you'd like to show your support. It's always just an optional thing, never required, but always appreciated. So thank you to People's Republic, El Cute, Balls, Bam Bam Bagel, Captain Chonky, Chateau Neuf, Super Pack, Zombie Killer, Cloud, Cosmic Johnson, Static Mirror, DA Gaming, Davram TV, El Jefe Esteban, Fergatron, Godhammer 6, Trickster, Jabaro 5, Jorby Jorbs, Carl Embo, Kazia the Aficionado, Nightstar, Lumpy SRQ, Evil Morpheus, Space Admiral Ors, Xbox Mike 29, Murphy Lives, Mutinous Max, Norwegian, Raja the Brave, Regis Stella the Brony Pirate, sorry Regis, Replicated Flame, Rust Belt Kid, Scamelt 666, Captain Dasm, Tommy D, TN Professor, Real Big Tuna, Big Bad Pad, Mina Fairy, Captain J. Rat of the Flaming Cold Sore, The Lore Chronologist, Deadeye Dre, Heger Owl, Jeff H., Ghost Boy 20, Evil Martha, Peter Miller, Rooski Doo, Thor Von Blitz, Windsor Chris, Luke Lord, the Insipid Ghost, and Zam Wow. Thank you all so much. I always wonder if you guys ever think about the order of names. Like, do you get used to who's in what order? Do I ever mess it up? Do I ever mix it up and make you guys wonder, like, did I get it right this time? I bet that's probably something I think about more than you guys. But anyway, this week we are going to be talking about all of the Sea of Thieves news video that came out, the cosmetics. We actually had a really good discussion with Rusty, who came in after we had started, and we got into a bit of a discussion, or kind of like what is it about cosmetics that draw our attention? Do they still fulfill our desire to jump into the game, or is it something else in the game that draws us to playing it? It was a great discussion, really kind of came out of nowhere, and when that stuff happens, man, I gotta say, I learned from Caleb, you let it roll. You roll with it and you let it come to its end, its natural end, because sometimes those conversations are a lot more interesting than me reading the news. With that, I gotta say, it was very surprising to see a lot of folks talk about the beta weekend for Skull and Bones. I have not seen this much positivity about it, especially given the amount of testing that's been done in the past and the state of the game that it used to be in. For those of you that don't know, a lot of codes went out. I did not get to play this weekend. I might jump in after I'm done recording. I haven't decided yet. I have it installed. I just haven't actually jumped into it, but I was able to help get Lady Haradra a couple codes for some of her friends who were looking to get in as well too. And shout out to Behaving Beardly, who was able to get her a code for this weekend. Really glad to see a lot of positivity around Skull and Bones, because it's been in production since about the same time that Sea of Thieves had started their production, which was at this point around 12 years ago. So it's definitely been in the cooker a long time. They have to put it out, but it was genuinely exciting to see that folks are excited about this game and are enjoying it. It's definitely going to be different than Sea of Thieves. It is not going to be the more gritty, realistic version of Sea of Thieves by any means. But I think that they are finally starting to hone in, based on the feedback they've received, a lot about what that game is going to need to succeed. So I'm really happy to see that. Additionally, I think that's pretty much it. But I just wanted to give you guys all a heads up. I'm hoping to have an interview with a content creator who has been on the podcast in the past for this coming week. And I'm hoping to get that out on Friday. And the reason for it is because I'm going to be gone most of next weekend. There's a very big anime convention here in California that I'm going to. And I'm looking forward to a lot of the guests. There's like Don Bluth, Steve Bloom, the entire freaking cast of God of War and God of War Ragnarok, like Chris Judge and Sissy Jones is going to be there for something else. But like the whole group is going to be. So I'm going to try and get down there as much as possible because very few times do you get to run into people who you have known about for most of your life, and coming from an animation background in college, Don Bluth is like a national treasure to me. So I really can't wait to get there. But that's all that I wanted to give you guys a head up. I'm hoping to get the episode out for Friday as opposed to the normal Monday. So have it a little bit earlier than normal. So hold off if you want to have that Monday morning thing. But besides that, that's it. So let's get into it. Welcome everyone to the August Gold Hoarder episode. We have some good news today to talk about some stuff that's coming next week, which is kind of nice. I'm glad that we're getting some news in here. But this is the patron episode. We're going to be having with us Captain Dasm, Norwegian, and Regis Stella. It's a lot smaller cast than last month, but I know that with things kicking up for school and whatnot, a lot of folks are busy and trying to get their last little vacations in before the end of the summer. So before we get into the news, I want to walk us down the list of everyone that's here. Captain Dasm, welcome. How you doing?
Doing good, my friend. Doing good. Glad I can make it this time.
Yeah, definitely. Glad to have you along. You're joining us through your Xbox, it looks like, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, my computer's been not used recently. It's kind of buried away. Didn't want to have to clear off a space and find it, so Xbox works.
That's awesome. Glad to see it. Also with us, we have Norwegian. Norwegian, how you been?
Doing well. Hope everyone's doing well too.
Definitely. And last but not least, we have Regis Stella. Regis, how you doing?
Doing well. Just I've been sick for the past week, and but I will say I am excited for the new Monkey Island Tall Tale and the One Piece live action come next Thursday.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming, it seems like, next week, so really happy to see that. We might as well actually jump into it. So for those of you that don't know, we got a Sea of Thieves news video that came out this week, and there was some fun stuff that actually came with it. So I'm actually really glad that we finally got an announcement for Monkey Island Tall Tale 2 is going to be launching on August 31st. Are you guys excited for this? Are you guys looking forward to the fact that we're finally getting the second Tall Tale? And how do you feel about the release date being on the last day of August?
I think it was real cheeky to use the last day and barely catch that monthly release, but I'm excited for something. You know, it's been a drought of content on Sea of Thieves, and it's going to be nice to be able to do something again.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that it still counts for the monthly cadence. Just got to get it in there. Get it in there now before 10.
Yeah, I was really surprised. Man, they really squeaked in at the very last second there. I wasn't sure if we were actually going to get it within a month cadence. Now, a lot of folks seem to think that it was going to be like a 30-day time frame. So it was supposed to be like July 20th and then August 20th and then September 20th. Did you all feel like it should have been the 30 days, or did you expect that it would probably come in towards the end of the month for August?
I feel like it's just
wanted. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say any time is in the month of release should be as fine as it is, as long as it's still within the month of
Yeah, definitely. And then
I'm just happy it's coming out and that hopefully it's going to be wonderful. It's fantastic, and they got everything done on it. That's all I hope for. I don't care when it comes out, as long as it works.
I think it will. Really interesting discussion that was actually being had over on Twitter. I don't know if you all saw this. But it turns out that according to Mike Chapman, this is probably the longest tall tale that has ever been made. And that for him, he was able to do it knowing what to do in 2 hours. But most folks not knowing what to do may take up to 3 or 4 hours to complete this tall tale. I'm very curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are on this. Are you excited for that? Are you excited to have that much time to be in a tall tale? Or does that feel like it's a little long and might be tough to fit in a night? What do you guys think?
I was just saying about how we needed content, and then they're saying 3 hours. Huh? That's some content. I hope we get some checkpoints on there.
I mean, as long as it's good and you can, and I don't know, it's 6 a.m. in the morning. It's too early.
Fair enough.
Coffee is needed to function.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee.
Oh, missing out.
God help us all.
Yeah, we'll have some coffee for you, sir. As long as there's checkpoints in it, we're good. That's a lot to ask of people that have jobs in their life, families. It's quite a bit to lock it down. Don't get me wrong, you could spend quite a bit of time in this game, but it's content. I'm happy for it. I'll play it. I'll enjoy it. Just hope it's got checkpoints.
Yeah, same. There were definitely that in the first one. At least progress checks that you could do in there. The thing that I'm very curious about is this feels like we're going to be able to fully explore the entire Monkey Island at this point. And I wonder how much of the time that you're going to be spend on this tall tale is backtracking between one location to the other. I know at least through playing Monkey Island on the first and second game, that tended to be something that I saw like you would do a lot of. Like you had to go from one location to the other, and you would, kind of piece out the little point and click adventure puzzle there, and then you would have to backtrack and go back. Any concerns about how much trekking we're going to have to do from place to place? I mean, we already know that we've got a zip line with a rubber chicken with a pulley on it coming, but I wonder how much we're actually going to have to traverse the entirety of this island.
It already sounds like they've got some of the game mechanics with that in mind in game with the zip lines. So hopefully they've got ways to make that a quicker progress instead of going, oh, well, hey, I need to go walk over here and walk back over here, say hi to this person. Oh, no, we're going to go back to the dock. Hopefully they've got a quick travel system with that, and the zip lines are in the right spot.
Definitely.
Yeah. The Monkey Island was definitely notorious for making you walk back and forth a lot to make sure the puzzles are solved. So if Melee's as big an island as they're making it sound, and that sounds what a lot of that time is then. It's a lot of traversing.
Are there any things that you're hoping are kind of fixed with the next tall tale that maybe they had time to take a look at the feedback for the first one to apply to the second?
I would hope that there's no more single pieces of 8. I'm down for like pouches, but man, those single pieces get rough to find.
Here, what is that? I can't think of how you say it. Here, hey, yeah, we all agree. So say we all.
Yeah, definitely. So if that's good, then I think I wanted to kind of bring in some of the other news items that we got this week. With the new tall tale coming out on the 31st, we know that we are going to be having more Monkey Island content coming to the Emporium. This is in the case of having Guybrush and Elaine are in the Mad Monkey ship set. Have you guys been purchasing anything from the Emporium, or is anything from the Emporium caught your eye, or did anything from from this video catch your eye as far as like what you wanted to maybe take a look at and pick up?
If I were to pick up anything, I would probably pick up just the ship set stuff and the dog. If the costume set's like one of those other ones, I'm down for every pet. But if the costume's like those ones where you can like piece it out, I'd be down. But I think it's just going to be a regular costume.
It's the entire crew set, so kind of like the Soul Flame or the Pirates of the Caribbean one, where once somebody has it, the entire crew can equip a piece from it.
Does help with the value a little
like
bit
that
there.
Plague Doctor one.
Yeah, where they have it kind of like pieced apart.
Yeah, I wish that they would do more costumes like that, where it's like, sure, I'll still buy the whole costume if you let me piece it out. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But you're definitely down for the dog. Spiffy is in the bag. You're ready to pick him up.
He looks just like the Key dog with a bone instead.
Yes. Kind of makes you wonder who influenced who.
Yeah.
Very true.
It
Very
really
true.
does.
I don't know about you guys, but I see some heavy Wizard of Oz influence with that ship that has front of the ship piece right there with flying monkeys. Need some flying monkeys on the front of my ship right now.
What is it about the flying monkey that you really love?
Turns out there's people that are afraid of those things, and I want that on the front of my ship because people are afraid of them. They
Fair
might be a
enough.
little
Dreaded
cool to this
flying
game,
monkey
but yeah.
approaches.
Look behind you, a three-headed monkey, or a flying monkey in this case.
And
Yeah.
it to me it screams Wizard of Oz when I look at it.
What do y'all think of the ship crest that has like the glowing eyes with the monkey island kind of opening to the cave with its mouth around the actual ship crest?
I like that look. I think it's a good one.
I really enjoyed that. I think that the livery set itself all together, I think they did a really fantastic job. I love the capstan that has the 3 monkey heads around it. The cannon flare doesn't look atrocious. I was actually kind of surprised by that. I thought the cannon flares, as much as I hate them, this one looked like one of the more natural ones, which I was very appreciative. And yeah, the flying golden monkey with I don't know why he's got like the banana across his arm, or his arm across his chest, holding a banana the way he does. It's very interesting. But overall, I think it's a pretty good kind of brown, green, gold motif. I'm sure it probably looks best on galleons as usual, but nice to see that. What did you guys think of the weapons and the concertina? Any of those catch your eye, or anything that you guys like about those, or do you even go for the actual weapons bundles in the Emporium?
I usually, if I like a weapon from the set, I usually just buy the weapon. Just sometimes the whole set doesn't cry out to me. It's usually the cutlass. I'm a huge cutlass collector.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. Now, especially since I've got the heavy swords and the rapiers.
I'm in the same boat as him. I can't remember the last bundle that I purchased. It's always been, hey, I like that one. I want that one. All right, let's go for it. Not the whole thing. Just so that way I can piece together what exactly I want. Bills,
The last one I did. I think the last set I did buy fully was the Bleakheart Banshee one. Those weapons are clean.
I think you're right.
I do love the Bleakheart stuff.
The last one I bought was the Eternal Freedom weapon set, because Pirates of the Caribbean and all.
Yeah, that's
Very
a pretty good one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I like it.
Did you do it when it was on sale? When they did the big discount for it?
No, I did them when they first come out, because Pirates fan and all.
Yeah, I've been trying to.
I did mine when they were giving out that figurehead. Cough, cough.
Oh yeah, the Black Pearl one.
So we also got in the news update that there's going to be a Paradise Garden cutlass. It looks like I don't know if you guys know the game, but there's a game called Snake Pass that came out on Switch forever ago. But this one, very odd. It's super bright. It's got a white what's it called? Like a diamond on the bottom of the hilt. The cross guard itself is the actual snake, and then it just has a long green, red, and yellow blade. What do y'all think of that? Is too ostentatious? I know, can't think of that word.
I was gonna say
ostentatious.
Ostentatious. That's it. Yeah.
It's very bright. I'm glad you told me what it was actually from. I assumed it was a Viva Pinata reference.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If it would fit in.
Straight, it's like straight from Viva Pinata, like the pinata stick, if you will. But this time it's a sword.
Makes sense to me because that's just another rare property. I'm glad you told me where it's really from, though. That's a cool little note to have.
Rusty, how you doing, Rusty?
Do they have anything Viva Pinata?
I do like pinatas.
They do have Viva Pinata. They've got a full ship set, actually, I think, in the Emporium, right?
How have I missed this?
Didn't they actually?
It's been out for a while.
What is the Viva Pinata set called? Because is that called the Paradise Garden set?
It's a good question. I don't think
I can check.
I'm checking Dr. Google right now.
Oh, I was just gonna get into the Emporium and check.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what that's actually called. Because maybe it is the Viva Pinata set, and we just didn't think about the fact that it actually is called the Paradise Garden set in Sea of Thieves. Son of a gun, it is. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, perfect.
The Viva Pinata stuff is called the Paradise Garden stuff in Sea of Thieves.
Huh.
So yes, that's exactly what it looks like. So you were all on point. You called it. It looked like it was straight from Viva Pinata. Sure enough, that's exactly what it's from. Also, Rusty, welcome.
Is that good?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I honestly, listen, it's the start of college football. I forget about everything about this time, so I forgot that you guys were even getting on today. So I apologize.
Oh, no worries. I was late to the recording
Apologies.
myself.
Look, I'm in the middle of trying to move a whole house across country, and I haven't even started packing, and I leave in 2 weeks.
Have you thought about just moving the
Hey man,
stuff
that's a
in
better
the
excuse
house?
than most.
Just moving the house as one, like just picking
Hey,
it up and
I've
leave.
seen
Yeah.
it done, dude.
I listen. I've seen like those major mover things where they just move a whole house, and I'm like, listen, this house is built in 1887. I'm not even. I don't even trust jacking it up to refinish the basement, let alone moving it across country. So we'll just skip out on that.
Very
Hey man,
good.
they don't build
Someone
them like they
else's
used to.
headache.
That is true. The what do you call them? The 12-inch thick beams that are still here from the 1887s. Those suckers aren't going anywhere. They've lasted through 2 tornadoes ripping off the side of the house. I think they're going to be okay.
We're glad to have you here. We were just talking about the Tall Tale 2 coming out next week, and we just got done kind of talking about the Mad Monkey ship set, as well as the Guybrush, Elaine, and Carla costume set in the Emporium, Spiffy, as well as a couple of the weapons and stuff. Did you get a chance to watch the news video for Sea of Thieves that they just put out?
I have not. Other than them saying, "Hey, we're bringing out the next part of Monkey Island." Honestly, outside of that, that's about all I've heard or seen.
Oh, so this is all going to be fresh for you. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, they've got a bunch
It is
of
a good video.
yeah, they did a good stuff actually, and I wanted to bring this up with y'all too because I know that they're going to be bringing in some new cosmetics for just the regular shop as well too. So we're going to be getting the new Ashen Dragon clothing and weapon set, as well as I think and it looks like it's honestly it looks pretty cool. It looks like you've got kind of the Ashen curse bleeding through your clothing instead of just like the clothing itself actually there. But I really like that. Anyone planning on picking that stuff up?
I like it, but with every other like monthly update that we've gotten like Gold Hoarder, Order of Souls, Merchants. Where's Reaper? Why are they giving us Ashen Dragon and not Reaper?
I mean, it's a little bit of that though, right? Because I mean, Ashen Dragon is
Dove.
kind of linked to Flameheart.
But I mean, just like how they broke apart all the costumes, why can't we break apart that Reaper costume yet? What are they hiding?
I've always associated the Ashen Dragon with the Pajama Reapers, so there you go. It's kind of same boat, same group of people.
Kind of.
You can't really break down a onesie though,
but it's not
can
the
you?
same.
Like what happens if you break down a onesie? You're just in your skivvies at that point.
About to say, it looks like my toddler. That's what it looks like.
I
am
am
a brand new sailor starting the game for the first time.
Yeah, the ones running around not knowing what to do.
Wow, yeah, wow. Sometimes they act like they don't know what they're doing, and then you find out they've been playing for 5 years.
Yeah. That's kind of the beauty of Sea of Thieves, though, the misdirection. The other thing that I wanted to touch on, too, aside from some of the new hairstyles, and Dasm, you bring this up because I think this is kind of interesting. We have been getting the trade companies for cosmetics in the regular shop over the last few updates. Now we're actually getting Flaming Jackal equipment and weapons. This is so odd to me that I'm glad that they want to honor the Flaming Jackal, which is one of the ship sets that were one of the teams, I should say, that was part of Arena back when DeMarco and Lassetti were running it. And now only now are we getting Arena content. And it really makes me wonder, why wasn't this content made available when Arena was active? And also why bring, it feels like they're just poking at the people that loved Arena. And now that it's gone, they're just like, hey, did you want to get some Flaming Jackal stuff for the team that you can't be a part of now unless you have the ship cosmetics?
I'm not going to lie. With Flaming Jackal right there, it just reminds me of that Family Guy bit. It's a jackal, jackal, jackal. It's a jackal.
So are you guys upset by this? Are you guys excited to see Flaming Jackal? Do you want more of the Arena sets to come out as equipment and cosmetics?
Maybe as long as it's not the ship sets themselves that you can only get while the Arena was still up, that'll be fine. But
oh, really?
Yeah, just ships, anything other than the ship cosmetics, good. Because, you get the ship cosmetics when the arena was alive. Only way to get those things. So yeah, I'm fine with it. But this is somebody who's not a PvPer, so yeah.
I just hope you can only buy
No.
this at the Pirate Tavern. Like, it's just a kiosk that's only there.
That'd be cool.
Imagine if they had it where you could only buy it at the Sea Dogs.
Exactly.
Like I don't know. I think I'm just like I'm all for cosmetics. Like I used to be like just all about cosmetics, and I think to the point to where like having stuff cosmetics locked behind certain things and stuff like that. Like it always gives you something to work for. But like anymore with cosmetics, I think I'm just tired. I'm just tired of it, to be honest with you. I know it might sound offbeat compared to some folks, but like I don't know. Like every time I turn around, it's like, oh, okay, new cosmetics. Look, our ship looks the same. It's not going to change. We're dressed the same. We're not going to change. Very rarely do we change what we look like or what our ship looks like. I'm not going to spend money, real life money, and I'm not going to spend gold in the game to get cosmetics that I'm never going to use anymore. It's just, I don't know, for us, or at least for me, it's just, I guess I'm just tired of it. Like I would rather more substantial things. Like I don't know. Not that Rare is doing this, but it's kind of like a bait and switch for me in my brain. Like I'm like, oh, well, here's some shiny cosmetics to ignore everything else that we're trying not to do. Like that's how I look at it. Like I could care less about cosmetics anymore. Give me something substantial. Give me something, whether it's story based, whether it's something in the game. Give me something like I want the eggs and bacon here. I don't want just some fancy side dressing here that just makes everything look all good. I don't know, maybe
Gotcha.
I'm just tired of it.
Would you attribute your feeling right now more because of the state of the game? Like think about like a year ago, were you having the same feelings about cosmetics? And kind of wondering what's the newest item that you have as far as like a cosmetic that you decided to start wearing?
To be honest with you, I would have to seriously look back and see kind of what was the last cosmetic, whether I bought from the Emporium or whether like I used from like actually like doing something in the game. I know the other day, I believe it was Hefe and Prof. I hit my 20 Reaper chest like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I could, to be honest with you, I couldn't even tell you what on God's green earth the cosmetic that was attached to it was, or whether it was a weapon. I don't even remember what it was. I know like Prof and Hefe were like, oh, hey, let's go purchase this item and see what it looks like. Honestly, I had no clue that I even bought the thing already, nor did I have a clue what it even was. It took those two to like explain it to me, like, oh yeah, it's this item or whatever. And like I said, it was 3-4 days ago. I've already forgotten about it. Like I'd have to really investigate to see like, is it something from the Emporium? Is it something I unlocked that I had to pay for? It's like, hey, unlock this, but here, we want you to spend another 2 million gold to buy it too. So it's like, I don't know. For me, it's not that the state of the game. I know with the Black Rose, like I know we've all been super busy, with me moving halfway across the country. Hefe's got his own stuff going on. And Prof has just been working a lot. So we haven't been sailing as much, which is good. But even when we do sail, we still just have fun. Like I've been using it to unlock combinations because, I like those little check marks in my box.
Yeah.
But to me, like obviously there's problems that I think with the game and the state of the game, but I wouldn't attribute that to like the reason why cosmetics don't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
I think it's just slowly, don't get me wrong, there are certain cosmetics in the game that I'm like, I want to get. But let's be honest, there's some of them that, look, once I get to 100 on my dives, I'm done. Like I do not care about getting to 200 just to get some cosmetics. Like it's
I'm
things
with you
like
on
that.
brother.
Yeah, like I just don't like. I could beat around this bush 1,000 times and say the same thing that a lot of us are saying. I have fun diving every now and then when it's with the Black Roses together, or it's just me and Prof. Sometimes just soloing it on a sloop or doing it on a sloop. But like the majority of the time, like I get to my 100, I could care less about the 4 or 5 cosmetics you get to 200.
Yeah.
Like congratulations. We ran into somebody the other day. They had the gold curse. Honestly, some of the nicest people we've ever met on the seas. We told them, hey, look, all we want is just give us the, all we wanted was the chest from the FOF. And he was like, yeah, cool. But even that cosmetic honestly annoyed me because every time the guy ran by one of us, it was like this loud clanking noise. So you thought you were by a skeleton or something. And it was just annoying. Well, yeah, you truly are. But I was just like, dude, I was shooting at him. And I'm like, and Prof and I are both like, oh, sorry, man, we're killing you again, sorry. But like, so I don't know. There's certain cosmetics, like I said, I'd love to have, but it's not worth my time and effort to go out and get them. Like, I just don't care. I'm there to have fun with you guys. I'm there to have fun and just play and make memories. I don't know. I've slowly just stopped caring about the cosmetic part of the game. Just give me something. Let me have fun with my friends. Give me some storyline. Let's go.
That's fair.
Do you feel that way because it's been so long that just the focus that's been coming out for new stuff is solely just cosmetics and nothing else? Like you're getting, the icing on the top, but you're not getting the actual dessert.
I mean, like Monkey Island was great. Like I loved the first part of Monkey Island, which Logan, you can attest to this. How many games have I bought that are nothing but puzzle style games? And I refuse to. I buy the stupid things. I spend $70-$80 on them, and I still yet to play them. Like I suck at puzzle games. I don't like them. I never play them. That's the reason why I own like 4 Zelda games, and I've probably played a total of an hour and a half of Zelda games.
It's true.
But like I loved that first Monkey Island. I liked it. It was fun. It made me think a little bit more. Maybe I'm just getting older, where I'm like, okay, now I can, I feel like I can do puzzles and settle my brain down a little bit, I guess, a little bit. But like Monkey Island, like, I mean, you guys can all attest, everybody that played it, like, how long did it really take you to do everything? I mean, not that I need a 20-hour experience here, you know what I mean? But I don't want to sit there and say, yes, you're right, that maybe that could be part of it, that everything is so focused on cosmetics. But I would just rather, I mean, even if you're not going to give me storyline stuff, like at least just give us some experience to play for a little bit so I could have fun with my friends. Like, I would rather them not touch I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I would rather them just fix the small things that we all have been complaining about for 5 years and do a couple little smaller things for us and just like not worry about putting crap in the cosmetics or the Emporium. Like, I just don't care about it. I don't know.
So
maybe there's an maybe you're all right. Maybe you're all telling me like internally you're all are correct and I'm just trying to beat around the bush, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like it's slowly been going this way and I just don't care.
I think
everyone's got their own reasons to play though.
Yeah, I think a better question for me, and I want to open this up to each of you because I think this is a good way to kind of field where people are at with the type of cosmetics that are coming in. What is one like cosmetic in a pirate game or in a pirate fashion that is something that you've yet to see that you want in the game? Because I feel like we've gotten a fair amount of stuff, but one of the things that always comes back to is we want more kind of traditional Hollywood piratey looking stuff. And Rust, your comment about not feeling like the cosmetics are a big enough draw for you to care about picking them up speaks to me, not only so much about the content that you have that you're enjoying, but not necessarily feeling fulfilled on, but there isn't something that is so compelling that is driving you to want to go get that. And that to me is more interesting about, less about like, okay, we know that there's content coming. We know that we've got tall tales that are coming in. But what is the cosmetic that you want that is a pirate cosmetic that isn't in the game that you are hoping to find? Or in this case, are you completely satisfied with the look of your pirate because you finally have the look that you've been striving to get?
I would say for me, I kind of stumbled across the look for my pirate. I started one way for a long time and then I switched over one time, other than switching to a few outfits that you need to here and there to do certain things. I've kind of had 2 looks in almost 6 years, and I'm comfortable with it. I just don't take the time and effort to really change it, and the only time I do is if I'm sailing with some of our European folks and we're just being obnoxious, then I might change it every now and then. But I pretty much change it back before I log off because it's just something I'm used to and something that I don't aesthetically enjoy, I guess.
Okay.
But I will say I'm with Prof on this. I believe Hefe's kind of on the same boat because I know he doesn't spend a lot of his gold in game, let alone money in the Emporium. If there was more traditional pirate stuff or more traditional pirate looks, or the chance to color palette whatever outfit you like, whether it be the pant, the jacket, dress, doesn't matter. If you are able to color palette yourself rather than give you what they choose, then I might be more prone to being like, you know what, I like this jacket. I'm gonna spend the $2.99 in the Emporium to buy it because I can change that color to whatever color I want, or vice versa. I think that with the additional of having some more pirate, like traditional pirate style clothing,
Mm-hmm.
through the years, I'd be okay with. I just this off the wall crazy stuff. Like some of it's cool. I've gotten some of it over the years, but that stuff it doesn't attract me anymore.
Okay.
If you could dye your clothes, that would be awesome.
So that's Dasm's jumping in here. I want to get your thoughts. How are you feeling about cosmetics? Is there something that you've seen somewhere in Pirates across our timeline that you're like, oh man, we're still really missing X, and what is that X? Or are you satisfied?
The overall design of clothing, I'm pretty satisfied with it. Now, I love the idea of being able to choose what color your outfit is. I've been crying for the regular Morningstar, the white version, without needing the tall tale. Oh, I want that so bad. And if I could just dye it that color, oh my God, it's not that hard. You can do it in game with your hair.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, we already have multicolors of how many outfits? I just don't see it being that hard. Now, on the note of like from the video, one thing I do like is how they are starting to reuse old season pass cosmetics with doubloons. I like that. I think it's a good balance to bring in old content that some of us couldn't make because I wasn't able to play during season 2 at all. So I'm very happy that they're bringing back in the
Lucky
pirate outfit stuff. Yeah, it's just like I'm down to spend doubloons on that. I miss a lot of those. But and then on top of it, I've always been for just getting out cosmetics. I think that's such a cool idea. I don't think like certain ones, clearly like Shrouded Ghost, old events, like certain things like that. Keep your Shroud Breaker tattoos, keep your scars, keep your cool time limited stuff. One thing I could see them doing, which I would love, and I've seen it done in like similar things like World of Warcraft, is if you could go back and replay that old content, like use the portals to the Sea of the Damned, put down a quest for, hey, I want to go try out the old Hungering Deep, the first one that I never got to play with the Megalodons, I would love to go try that out. I've heard some cool stories from that, And then if other players put down the same quest, you get match made into it. If it's one of those, like the Hunter's Cry, I would be down. God, how many TDMers would literally queue up for Hunter's Cry?
Yeah, that was a definitely something that brought in a lot of people who like the PvP. I do want to continue with moving into other folks' thoughts too, because I want to make sure they get some thoughts in. So Norwegian, did you have cosmetics that you have been hoping for or wanting?
I'm pretty set in my cosmetics way in what I have. I will add that I did actually last week recently change the look of my pirate for the first time in 2 years, but that's just because I started going through and realizing, hey, I have a lot of stuff in here. Ooh, I like this. Let's start throwing this together. Let's try something a little bit different. But otherwise, I have the set cosmetics that I want. If I'm going to be playing aggressive with PvP and Tucking is going to be evolved, I put the Skeleton Curse on. If I'm going to be in an alliance and we're working on a For the Damned and I want to be visible, I'm putting on the Soul Flame with the Ghost Curse so they can see me from 2 miles away and know, hey, don't hit this guy. But for the most part, yeah, I'm set in my ways. Just every once in a while, peek in and go, oh, okay, that's nice. I might change that, add that. Or if we're messing around the deck, talking about things we've done, pull out a cosmetic that we've achieved with that just to show off, hey, yeah, I really did do this. That's about it. Other than that, I'll change up my ship cosmetics. That's about it.
Interesting. Okay. So that leaves us with Regis. Regis, I can probably guess what kind of cosmetics are missing in the game that you want to see, but I want to give you an opportunity to get on your podium and talk about what cosmetics are game or ones that you're looking forward to, or any ideas about cosmetics that would really satisfy your desires in Sea of Thieves.
Well, I don't know. I think we've got all the kinds of cosmetics we kind of need. But if I had to choose one, Luffy straw hat. If I'm being perfectly honest, not the straw hat we got from like the season whatever plunder pass we got.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the proper one.
The beachcomber.
Zoro. Yeah, that one. Oh, yeah, that one. So, I mean, that's just, requires a crossover, which once the current story threads need to be tied in the game, would not mind at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, Dasm brought up a really good point about season 2's content for the Lucky Hand clothing set, as well as some new cosmetics that are being added to that set, like the wheel for the actual ship, as well as a couple other things. Those are all going to be coming in as well on the 31st. And I'm glad that they are not only taking some of that content that was lost to seasons and bringing it back in the game, giving us a doubloon dump for that. I think it's a fantastic way. It doesn't satisfy anything for folks that did actually purchase that. So one of the things that I'm hoping they'll do is with like the wheel and the fishing rod and some of the other cosmetics, that those are also purchasable with doubloons, so that if you did get through the season 2 content, you got all that Lucky Hand stuff, and there's not really anything for you to spend doubloons on as a result of that, that at least the new content is doubloon cost. So you can at least, get some sort of drop in the bucket when it comes to doubloons. We're also going to be getting new emissary ledgers, which thankfully, because Monkey Island's coming out on the 31st, the ledger reset on the 1st of September should be new rewards, which is going to be trade faction or trade company stuff. It's going to be a bucket and a spyglass. Honest opinions. How you guys feeling about the spyglass and bucket being the rewards for the new the next 3-month ledger, or for the next ledgers?
Logan, to answer your question real quick about the bucket and spyglass, I think, at least for me, I guess it doesn't really matter what it is. I think it's just become one of those things that every time a new ledger, cosmetic comes out, it's like, oh, it's just something for me to do, like kind of like a checkmark thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, keep adding to whatever cosmetic, it is, whether it be for whatever emissary, but it's kind of just become that new thing. Like, okay, well, we got to get to this level. And, sometimes you don't get to that level in the 30 days. So you got to try it again. To caveat real quick, to kind of backtrack a little bit real quick, like 2 seconds, mm-hmm. Something that a couple people were talking about earlier about some of the cosmetics before. And like you said, the cosmetics that you were able to purchase in before, like prime example would be like the ferryman set, right? I would like to say, although I didn't, offend anybody over the years of saying this, but I think as time has grown on, I would like to say sorry to all my fellow pirates, because I used to be on the side of like, hey man, I spent, X amount of dollars on this controller, and the ferryman set's very hard to get. But I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, you know what? Like, I bought the controller because I wanted the controller. The ferryman set was just the extra kind of additive to it. Mm-hmm. Or I bought the hard drive because I wanted, the blunderbuss or whatever. But it's like, I feel like now I'm to the point where if it was something purchasable before, I think it's more than enough time has passed. There should be no reason why we can't add those back into the game. And whether you have to do something to get them or you buy them in the Emporium or whatever, like I'm to the point now where I'm like all for that. Now, things that you actually have to work for in the game, like, the stuff for Arena, I think that's a little bit different. I think if you had to really work at it in the game or something like that, I could see not wanting to bring that back. But as for the stuff that, hey, I spent $100 and whatever on a stupid controller that literally has sat on my shelf for 45 years. Like, you know what? Give everybody else a chance to buy the ferryman set. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but That's my 2 cents.
What if they come out with a new controller?
What if it was an item? Sorry, what was it? What if it was an item that they specifically said they were not going to bring back? That it was an exclusive time event for a special event going on, that you had to be on there doing this task at that time, and they specifically said that they were not going to bring it back.
Do you happen to have an example that might help out with that hypothetical?
With the year one, I think, was it the year one sword?
The year one sword.
I'm trying to think of what sword it is.
I mean, I know the year one eye patch or the day one eye patch, which like I'm a prime example of that. Like I pre-ordered the game and still didn't start it up until what 5 months into it, 6 months into it. So I like, even though I pre-ordered the game, like I'll still never get the day one eye patch because I never started the game. I don't know about sword though, Logan. Do you remember the year one, something like that?
It's a sword with a skull on the hilt.
Oh, it was for oh gosh, Captain Bones' skull, and it was awarded in the first year. If you hit Pirate Legend, I think in the first year you got Captain Bones' skull hilted sword.
Correct. So that would be the example that I was trying to reference.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that being something that is kept exclusive because of its relevance to when it was released. That's a slippery slope for me though. But honestly, like if they did re-release that as like an anniversary reward, I don't think it would bother me too much either way, because I've already had my time with it. I've already enjoyed it. But Rusty, I think the question was kind of directed more towards your perspective on that. So what do you think?
Norwegian, I see where you're going with it, and kind of off of what I said too earlier, for years I've been like, nope, like I spent my hard-earned money. This shouldn't just be given away or even sold for a couple dollars. But I think all of it's kind of a double-edged sword. No pun intended there, but I really do think it's a double-edged sword no matter which way any of us look at it. Because I could sit here and say, well, hey, I had fun with the Ferryman set forever. Give somebody else a chance to buy it for $2.99, whatever. But, I'm sure there's items, and I'm sure if I go back and look at them, I'd probably find them. I'm sure there's items like the sword you're talking about. I'm positive it's in my inventory somewhere. Obviously, I don't care enough about it to use it. So why should I care whether or not you or anybody else gets an opportunity to earn that sword or even buy that sword in the Emporium? I can see why some people would get upset over it, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I'm getting old, guys. It's video games. I just don't care. Let us all just enjoy it, have fun. I'm sure I'll complain about some cosmetic that I get, 2 years from now that you can't get in 5 years. I don't know. But I see where you're going with it. I wish I had a better direct answer, I guess.
Yeah, I can understand that. I wouldn't mind if like the Ferryman set in particular came back for people to be able to get if it meant we were getting a new Sea of Thieves controller. Because I think that's something that has been long mentioned, that they want to do another exclusive Sea of Thieves controller. I know that Adam Park and Pete Heinz are kind of the ones in charge with that, and we haven't heard anything from it. But it is something that I think would be really cool to kind of have brought back, so that folks that maybe got into Sea of Thieves later on who wanted the Ferryman set would have an opportunity to pick it up by purchasing another controller the way that we did back in the day. And I would probably buy another controller as well, but something like that I think would be at least equated to earning it in a sense, if that makes sense.
Well, that controller is also going to be, what, 5 years old now or so?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Time for a new one.
Has anybody else in here honestly, I mean, I don't know, you guys speak up, but has anybody else in here ever buy a special controller and actually use it though? I guess that's a question in itself. Like,
oh yeah,
we're just okay. So I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's because I am lucky enough to have a little bit of expendable income. But like I have 3 or 4 special controllers sitting in front of me right now. I don't think I've ever turned them on.
You are crazy. Go get the Starfield controller. It is one of the best controllers they have put out.
Of course I'm crazy. I buy games and don't even play them.
That's everyone. Have any of you guys been not been guilty of buying a game and not playing it?
I mean, I have. No, I had to step away for a second.
The sigh.
When you guys are having your cosmetic conversation. I did catch at the very end you guys talking about Captain Bones' sword, and I assume that meant like if it was potentially going to get re-released. I've always been of the mind of, even for me, I have the Lord Guardian sales from getting the RPG. If I found out later that, oh look, Xbox Ultimate Rewards giving out Lord Guardian sales, cool story. I'm down. I want people to have access to content. If I had any of the old stuff that I paid for, and it's just like Ferryman's coming out, okay, it's a game. Like he was saying, it's a game. I want people to be able to access the cool content so that way they can have their dream pirate too. If that's like the outfit they want, I want them to be able to get that. It's just like I want people to be able to play a game and have fun. End of the day, that's what we're all trying to do.
I like that look. Just not my ghost and skelly curse, but everything else is fine.
Hey, no, you
Yeah.
gotta earn your cosmetics. Clearly, like I've got my ghost. I'm working on my skelly.
I'm with you guys. Look, if it's something we've all paid for, like with hard-earned cash in the day, like I don't know, it's like buying a new car and taking it off the lot. It's not going to be worth as much. Look, you bought the controller, you got the special item. Cool, you played with it for a little bit. Let somebody else have the opportunity to buy it or earn it. But if it's something you had to hard earn hours and hours into the game for, I can understand. I could totally understand not putting that out there for people to purchase. But if it's just something we paid hard money for, who cares anymore? I don't know. It's just like I said, I'm with you guys. It's a video game. Let's have fun. I'm going to get eaten alive later by Professor for saying all this.
Yeah, probably.
It's okay. Grandpa can yell at me all he wants. It's okay. I've been put in the corner by him plenty of times. We're fine.
So
Send him my way. I'll just ignore him.
one of the other things that I wanted to make sure got out in the news was actually this new aim assist audio feature. This is something that was brought up and worked with Sightless Combat, who has been our resident Sightless pirate legend. And it's a very interesting one because it does something that I don't think most folks will take advantage of. But I am very curious because audio is so important in Sea of Thieves, being able to hear when someone is like coming up a ladder, when someone's swimming around your ship, being able to hear a mermaid, spawn somewhere next to you, or being able to hear that registration of the chain shot hitting the mast. Stuff like that is extremely important in Sea of Thieves. And we're going to be getting a new feature that if you enable it, will give you a kind of clicking sound that will increase in frequency when you're aiming down a sight and you get closer and closer towards an enemy, whether it be a PvE enemy or another player. And just to give you a better gauge on if you are centered in with your sights. This is something that I think a lot of sighted people take for granted because we can generally see what we're aiming at unless there's like some foliage or something in there. There have been definitely some cases where I've been like trying to aim at a skeleton that's really well hidden in some bushes and it has, aimbot turned on. I don't. I turn mine off most of the time. And just wanted to see, like, is this something that you guys will play around with at all? Could you see any benefit to it if it's a situation where someone's trying to like hide somewhere and you can't quite get it, but that audio might be a good enough indicator to get you close enough to be able to get a shot off?
I already use the sound cues for everything. It helps, like, I can see when I'm getting those riggings level, but I'll tell you what, anytime I hear that little like noise for when it's perfectly straight, that's what I go for. With the same thing with the wheel, I listen for it. I wait for it to feel the vibration. I love those things. It helps me out a ton too. I'm down for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. As I've gotten older, you hate to admit that some things are going out of your body as you get older. But some of the sounds and sight things that are already built into the game that we can use, I take full advantage of those. I saw somebody else post something. I don't know. Maybe it was the 2 times I was on Reddit in the last 6 months, but somebody else posted something about the other day about, people using that to their advantage, even though they don't need it. Like, look, man, if that's truly what somebody's going to do, first off, there's people that need it to play the game. And it needs to be in the game, period. And I'm all for any kind of accessibilities that we can put in any games at this point to help anybody play. And if people are going to exploit whatever they can exploit in the game, no matter what, and if somebody's using that to exploit something in the game because, that way people can't hide from them as well or whatever. Look, if you're going to get thrashed on after that anyways, you're going to get thrashed anyways. So who cares? Like, it is what it is, but I'm all for it. I mean, like I said, my sight's getting worse and worse. I'm getting to the point where I'm almost not going to be able to wear contacts anymore because the contacts aren't strong enough. So I'm all for that stuff.
Funny you talk about us getting older. I literally just ordered more icy hot before I got on. So yeah, it hurts.
Make sure
Um,
Shaq or Charles Barkley come with it.
uh, Anytime you get accessibility features, it's a good thing. It's something, of course, always want to help and promote, make this game more accessible to everybody. It's always a good thing. There's definitely people that need it, and I want them to be able to enjoy this game as much as I want anybody to enjoy it. I do just have to make one joke. Now you can hear the hit reg, not only see it, but I'm glad that they're doing this.
So
I felt that one.
this is
Oh man, that was good.
I I really wanted to kind of bring this up just because I appreciate the fact that this was something that was worked on for accessibility features. I'm a very big proponent of that type of stuff. And anyone that might feel like this is a little exploiting in that it's not quite fair because, you know, you can't really hide if they can hear you, if they can hear the click and you gets closer to where you're actually at. Just remember that most of us have reduce to hold turned on. I can't remember the last time I actually had to hold down a button while repairing a plank or a hole in the ship. And honestly, if that is the level that we're going to really kind of address these kind of accessibility things, I feel like we're missing the point of the game. We're supposed to be having fun. We're supposed to be enjoying this content, and to pick apart one thing because it doesn't suit your playstyle or it doesn't feel like it's fair to your playstyle reduces, you know, the opportunity to have more and more people come into the game that originally wouldn't be able to.
You brought that up and I completely forgot. I haven't had that on for a long time. I've been holding the button to repair the ship.
Norwegian, listen, buddy.
Yes.
Don't worry. I got hammered by Dad and Grandpa one night because apparently I was like 3 years behind. And one day I said something, and Hefe's like, "Are you still holding down to repair a ship?" And I go, "Well, yeah." He goes, "You know they changed that 3 years ago, right?" And I was like, "Nope, didn't know. So don't worry, I'm with you. I'll stand united. I'll stand united with you."
The only other thing that I really wanted to bring up actually is a new event. So, you know, I've been harping on this for a while. Like, we know that we're going to have events coming into the game, but we haven't gotten any dates of when those are actually going to happen. And it's been something that's been bugging me because I don't know why you would have events announced, but not dates given if they're going to be set weekends. I don't see how that really correlates or why you can't announce that. But we did find out that we are finally going to be getting the Pirate Legend event. This is something that will be kind of like a community event. There's going to be a community goal. We don't necessarily know what it's going to really be tied to, which is unfortunate because it's hard to really understand like how to plan for this or what you're going to have to do. But it is going to be specifically for Athena's fortune. As far as I know, this isn't something that is going to really address Allegiance reputation. This is just for getting a bonus on gold and reputation for Athena's fortune. So they're looking to get people pushed into the Pirate Legend. They're looking to get people higher up to that level 30. And I'm very curious to hear what you guys' thoughts are on this. If you're excited for another event, or if you're looking forward to the fact that this is just going to be something that is coming to the game so that there's something to do or something to focus on beyond what we've really had in the last, you know, few months, outside of the actual Tall Tales and the last adventure that we got. So any thoughts on that, or anything that you guys are looking forward to doing, or are you going to start working on your Veil missions and starting to get back up to working on that 50 and 100 markers for those?
Veil, maybe. If I were going to do anything for Legends Week, I might just go to the Roar and find some Ashen Athenas.
I can see that.
I think I'm with you on that. I think unfortunately we might end up doing some more Veil because I know I'm not fully there with all the Veil stuff. It was kind of a break period for a couple of us, so I don't know. It's just I don't have a real good answer to it, I guess.
It's about time to do something. This is something that they should have planned for a while back, without going into too deep on my feelings on that. It's when they pushed everything back and delayed it. This should have been, okay, we're transitioning from this, but in the meantime, hit the go button. Events in game, do it. So this is about time.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that this is happening so late since the actual announcement. You know, we found out that season 10 back on, I think it was the 20th or the 19th, was going to get pushed out to October. We've had Tall Tale 1. Have we had anything outside of the Golden Glory weekend and the Twitch drops since then?
Just the photo ops, that's it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. So the Legends week, it's kicking up from September 7th through September 14th. It will just be the 1 week. It's not this week. Actually, let's see. So today's the 26th that we're recording. So it will kick up on the Thursday after Monkey Island. So the Monkey Island kicks up on the 31st. A week later will be Legends week, and that will go until the 14th, which leaves us with 4 weeks of content or potential content for the final Monkey Island, which I imagine will probably be sometime around the 21st. If all things go well, they may push it to the 28th. But that gives us one more event, which was the summer games that has still yet to hit. And there's not really any word about when that's coming out, if it's still coming out. But that was intended to be one of the other events, as well as a community weekend, which we still don't know when that's going to be as well, too. So still a couple events. I'm kind of hoping that the 1st through the 4th would be the community weekend, and that we would get the summer games after the Legends week. And then right after that would be the final Tall Tale for the final Monkey Island chapter in that. So yeah, Legends week, September 7th through the 14th. And that should have a community goal, much like we did with the skeletons on the Festival of the Damn stuff. So very interested to see how that all pans out, what the rewards are going to be like, because they said it was a mysterious reward and they showed a tankard. And I don't really think I want a tankard as a mysterious reward. Hopefully it's something a little more interesting than that for a week's worth of event. But any thoughts on that, or anything that you guys want to talk about as far as the cadence of content or the content that they've announced so far?
I mean, I guess if Legends Week's the 7th through the 14th, the only plus side for me is going to be that Hefe and I are going to be living in the same house during that time. So we'll probably definitely be playing it side by side.
Awesome.
Hopefully this is the start of them keeping things moving. That way that they set the perception of, hey, we're pushing content, we're pushing the game. Just keep the movement going. Hopefully that's what this is the start of.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that was it as far as the news. I know everyone's got to get going. We're already running a little bit over time, so I want to thank everyone for coming by. Dasm, Norwegian, Regis, Rustbelt, thank you guys for dropping in and chatting with me for this episode. Definitely looking forward to the content that's coming, and I think that will do it.
Thank you so much for having us, my friend. You guys all have a wonderful day.
Likewise.
Yeah, I was glad to be able to join with you guys here pretty late. So, hey, everybody have a good day, and happy sailing.
You guys too, man. You guys take care.
Bye, Rust.
You
Bye,
too.
Norwegian. Bye, Regis.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, beautiful.
All right, pirates, that's going to do it for this episode of the Keelhauled podcast. This was the Gold Hoarder episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed the conversation. And I'm looking forward to next week's episode, because next week's episode, we're actually going to be doing an interview. We've got the Monkey Island Tall Tale to talk about, plenty more news to cover. And I think I'm going to take my time with some of this stuff, because we don't know like when or how the next event is going to be, or when the next Tall Tale is going to turn out to be. So I'll probably be chewing the fat on this, and hopefully we'll get some more news for like stuff that's coming after the Legend weekend and Monkey Island Tall Tale. So very happy to see kind of like what's happening with the game. Looking forward to seeing what people think of the new Tall Tale. And if any of you got a chance to check out Skull and Bones, I would love to hear your impressions. I actually played a little bit before finishing up the recording of this podcast. Asylum GC8 found me on the server that I was on, and took me over to go play the Sea Beast. And if I'm being honest, while I got demolished because for some reason the Sea Beast Beast loves low levels. I felt like we were fighting the hungering one back in the original day when there was multiple ships that it took to be able to fight that. And because of that, I had a really good time. I didn't get to go see the ghost ships that are apparently in there, but I wasn't too worried about it because I've played a couple times. Each time I play, it's getting better. And I think they're going to take feedback from this beta and plan on coming out in 2024. It would do well for them to shoot for the end of the first quarter for 2024, because I think that they've got a good basis for the beginning of the game. What I think they need to do right now is just ensure that end game is set in place and then balance PvP. Outside of that, I think they've done a pretty good job. So kudos to the team over there. I was very happy to see like how it's turning out, and it feels like this was a good time for players of Sea of Thieves to be able to give this an honest opportunity. So shout out to everyone that got into there, and let me know what your thoughts are if you got a chance to play it, or if you watched some of the Sea of Thieves streamers playing it. What did you think? I'd like to get your thoughts on that as well too. Other than that, pirates, that's going to do it. If you want to get a hold of me, there's plenty of ways to do that. Head over to your email account, type in CaptainLogun@gmail.com. Send me your thoughts, your feelings on that. Otherwise, hit me up on Twitter/X over at CAPT_LOGUN. I am also on Threads at that as well too. Feel free to tag me there. Otherwise, head over to the Discord server for Keelhauled Podcast. The links are in the show notes for every episode. Feel free to join in, say hi in the tavern talk, look for the Sherpas as they're willing to help out other folks. We're playing plenty of other games as well too, like Diablo, Fallout 76. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of off the top of my head. Actually, it'd probably be better if I actually just look at the Discord server. But there's plenty of stuff in there if you guys are interested in checking out some of the different things that folks are playing right now, as well as just having a place to talk about Xbox, PlayStation, PS, or PC or Nintendo. A lot of fans of games in general. So feel free to drop in there, hang out. I love the community that we have. We will most definitely be going into Monkey Island next weekend with a special guest. That's the plan. Otherwise, I'll have to come up with something else. Otherwise, that's going to do it, pirates. Thank you. I love you, and I look forward to sailing with you on the Sea of Thieves.